Sean Payton walked into that press conference with two words: not good news. On the second-to-last play of overtime, 3 plays before the game-winning field goal, Bo Nix fractured his right ankle. The Broncos had just beaten the Buffalo Bills 33-30 in one of the most dramatic games of the season. Bo Nix had thrown 3 touchdowns in overtime. The AFC Championship was in Denver, and without him, they lost it 10-7 in a blizzard. The Super Bowl was right there. But here's what almost nobody tells you about Bo Nix. 3 years before that playoff run, he was being booed off the field at his own dream school. And years later, he finally said out loud what he'd been hiding the whole time. Football had become miserable. Bo Nix grew up in Pinson, Alabama, and he didn't dream of the NFL. He didn't dream of millions of dollars or Super Bowl rings. His dad, Patrick Nix, had played quarterback for the Auburn Tigers. His whole family bled orange and blue. And since he was old enough to hold a football, Bo had one dream and one dream only: play quarterback for Auburn. Beat Alabama in the Iron Bowl. That was it. That was the whole thing. By the time he left Pinson Valley High School, he had over 12,000 total yards, 161 touchdowns, and Alabama's Mr. Football Award. Every major program in the country was calling. He said yes to one, the one that had always mattered: Auburn. Week 1, true freshman, national audience, and Bo Nix, a teenager who was never supposed to start, marched down the field and threw a game-winning touchdown in the final seconds against Oregon. Auburn lost their minds. The legend had officially begun. But here's the thing about legends: college football doesn't let them breathe. Year 2, inconsistent. Year 3, a recurring ankle injury cut his season short. The completion percentage never topped 62%. The touchdowns never cracked 16 in a season. And then, in 2021, it all fell apart. In a home game against Georgia State, a team Auburn was supposed to destroy, Bo Nix was benched at halftime. At Auburn, in front of his own fans. At the school that was supposed to be his destiny. The crowd didn't hold back. And online, it got worse. A brutal, mocking wall of text, the infamous copy pasta, spread everywhere Bo Nix's game appeared. Every game recap, every highlight clip, every post, the same cruel joke, over and over. He was the punchline of college football. And somewhere in Auburn, Alabama, a quarterback who had dreamed of this his whole life was staring at his phone, reading every single comment. Decades from now, when Bo Nix's daughter Riley is old enough to understand, she'll read a letter her father wrote her. He wrote it in April 2026. His words were raw, unfiltered, and real. Those things don't feel good. Early on, they tore me up. I immediately wanted to prove everyone wrong. I wanted to please everybody. Every comment felt personal. Every doubt felt like disrespect. He was talking about the critics, the memes, the fans who gave up on him. But behind that honesty was something deeper. He also wrote about the lowest moment of his Auburn career, blowing a 28-3 lead against Mississippi State, lying on the field with a broken ankle and losing the game. It was a mess, as low as I've ever felt in my football career. And the thing that got him through it wasn't football. His girlfriend, now his wife, Izzy, sent him 2 songs while he was struggling. Songs about faith. Songs that, in his own words, changed his life. He finally wrote, "I had finally learned and understood my identity was not in the game of football." Think about that. The kid who had built his entire identity around Auburn football, the son of an Auburn quarterback, had to learn to let it go. And the moment he did, everything changed. After 3 years at Auburn, Bo Nix entered the transfer portal. The kid who dreamed of Auburn his whole life walked away from it. And nobody thought it would work. He was already 22 years old. He'd never topped 62% completion percentage. He was heading into his 4th year of college football at a new school. Too old, too damaged, too far gone. But there was a detail nobody was paying attention to. His offensive coordinator from his first year at Auburn, the 1 year things actually clicked, was Kenny Dillingham. Dillingham had just joined Oregon's staff. 3 days after that announcement, Bo Nix committed to Oregon. He wasn't running from failure, he was running towards a system he already knew could unlock him. Year 1 at Oregon, 3,593 yards, 29 touchdowns, 10 wins. The mocked quarterback was suddenly leading a top 10 team. But 2023 was the year the argument ended forever. 4,508 yards, 45 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He broke Mac Jones's completion percentage record. He finished third in Heisman voting. He became the most experienced starting quarterback in NCAA history. And the internet had a problem. The meme wasn't funny anymore. Bo Nix wasn't a punchline. He was one of the best quarterbacks in college football. And then came the NFL draft and a brand new wave of doubt. Bo Nix was going to be 24 years old on opening day of his rookie season. In a league obsessed with youth, the takes were everywhere. He put up those numbers because he was older than everyone he played against. He's a system quarterback. He won't be able to process NFL speed. He's the definition of a guy who peaked in college. Sean Payton didn't care. The Super Bowl winning head coach who had coached Drew Brees, a man who had seen elite quarterbacks up close, took Bo Nix 12th overall. In his own words, if he had known Bo had broken his ankle twice already, he wouldn't have drafted him. But he didn't know, and what happened next proved he made the right call anyway. Rookie year, Bo Nix broke Russell Wilson's franchise record for wins by a rookie quarterback. He led the Broncos to the playoffs for the first time since Peyton Manning left Denver. The critics went quiet, but not for long. Year 2, 2025, and Bo Nix walked into training camp a completely different quarterback. 3,931 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 6 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter or overtime alone. The Denver Broncos won 14 games. They won the AFC West, the same division Patrick Mahomes had owned for years. They became the AFC's top seed. Divisional Round, Buffalo Bills, one of the most dramatic games of the season. The Bills led at halftime. The Broncos came back. It went to overtime. Bo Nix threw 3 touchdowns. Will Lutz kicked the 23-yard field goal in overtime. Final, Denver 33, Buffalo 30. The AFC Championship game was in Denver against the New England Patriots, the Broncos' first home AFC title game in a decade. And then Sean Payton walked into that press conference. Not good news. 3 plays before the final field goal on a designed run, Bo Nix fractured his right ankle. He had played the entire game, led comeback drives, won the game, and nobody knew until it was over. Jarrett Stidham started the AFC Championship game in a blizzard against the Patriots. Denver lost 10-7. One healthy quarterback from a Super Bowl, and Bo Nix had to watch it on a television screen from a hospital in Birmingham, Alabama. In April 2026, Bo Nix had a second procedure on his ankle, a cleanup surgery. Doctors found something that had been predisposed in his ankle for years, possibly his whole career. He wrote his daughter a letter. He told her he had been doubted, he had been dismissed, he had been benched at his dream school and mocked on the internet, and told he was too old for the NFL he now leads comeback drives in. He still hasn't won a Super Bowl. He's still one injury away from having it taken from him again. But now he's got a chip on his shoulder, and the whole NFL is about to feel it. If you made it this far, you already know what to do. Subscribe, because Chapter 3 of this story starts in September 2026, and you do not want to miss it.